Hey guys, what is up? This is Morgan, head astrologer over at morganledinsights.com and the Insiders Club. Welcome to your weekly astrology forecast video. So, in today's video, guys, we are going to be discussing the weekly astrology for May 2nd through May 9th. So, this is our introduction into May. We talked a little bit about May last week when we talked about May 1st and May 2nd. I will be doing the monthly forecast again. I'm actually in the process of filming them right now. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you can see them as they roll out. My plan right now is to roll them out by 4. So having Cancer, Aries through Cancer up by Wednesday night, early Thursday morning, having Leo through Scorpio up by late Thursday night, and then having the rest up by the latest by Friday night or early Saturday morning. So part 1 of the monthly forecast will be out this week. Again, if you guys want the full access to part 2, where we talk about the full moon and all of that good stuff, which is going to be really important with the lunar eclipse this month. So make sure that you guys are subscribing to the membership and supporting the work if possible. So thanks in advance. But anyways, in today's video, guys, we are again going to be discussing the energies for May 3rd through May 9th. If you want access to the Insights monthly calendar, this is available to members. You get daily insights and horoscopes for the month ahead. So if you guys like my interpretations and you want to stay in contact with me and know what's going on every day and all of those things like that, you need this calendar. It's nothing to play with. All my clients are like, Morgan, this is so useful. Like, oh my gosh, it's so useful. And yeah, I love Google Calendar. I will never stop using it. So anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive into May 3rd. Please make sure you're using timestamps. Again, the video is filmed so that you can watch it every single day. It's meant to be consumed in bite-sized pieces. So watch one day, watch your weekly, and then come back every single day. So you can kind of skim through it in the beginning, see what days resonate if you know you have certain things scheduled for certain days at certain times, but then come back every day and listen to the daily forecast before you start your day. I get so many emails from people, and I'm like, if you just listen to that daily forecast, you would have known. You should have known not to schedule a doctor appointment today, okay? So please, guys, utilize the resources that I already have. And if you still have questions, please email me, comment, or you can just book a reading. There's $75 for 30 minutes, $150 for 60 minutes. So there's always coupons. Members get 50% off their first reading. So I work with you if you work with me. But you got to be ready to invest because this is real work. So all of that said, let's dive into May 3rd. So this week's energy kicks off with Mercury being, why am I delayed? I don't know. So this week starts off with Mercury moving into Gemini. So on May 3rd, we will see Mercury move into Gemini. So this is an important transit, guys. This is super important because Mercury is going to be in Gemini until, I believe, June 27th. So this is an extended Mercury period just because we are going to see Mercury station retrograde at the end of the month. So for these first 3 weeks of May, pay very close attention to what Mercury in Gemini is trying to tell you. Now, Mercury rules communication, Mercury rules our thoughts, Mercury rules information. So when we think about Mercury and how it functions, Mercury is how we communicate. Mercury is how we transport one thing to the next. That is Mercury, whether it's an idea, whether it's a document, whether it's an email, whether it's your car. It's how you move from one place to the next. It's how you keep your thoughts moving. It's how we exchange things. It's how we analyze things, how we consume and absorb things. We're doing that through the functionality of Mercury. So with Mercury being in Gemini, Gemini being the 3rd sign of the zodiac, Gemini being a mutable air sign, which is very important for us to point out. So Gemini is mutable. So Gemini is someone who is very fluid, right? Gemini is neither fixed nor cardinal. So that means it's not fixed like Taurus. So it's not stubborn, it's not consistent, it's not solid, right? And it's not cardinal like Aries, so it's not overly impulsive. You know what I'm saying? It does have a sense of direction. So Geminis have two modes. Geminis can be very focused. Geminis can be very disciplined. Geminis can be very conscientious of what it is trying to fulfill, what it is trying to learn, what it is trying to experience, what it is trying to consume and then take it out of itself and express. That is what Gemini is trying to do. So there is this sense of fluidity that Gemini has. So there's going to be moments in your mentality and your discipline where you are extremely focused, where you're extremely Gemini tends to find its love through things that are exciting, things that are dealing with the hands. We think about writing is of the hand, so things that really allow you to get hands on with something. That's when Gemini is its most happiest, is when it is learning something hands on. It is practical based, it is tangible based, even though it is a mutable air sign. But because we do have those air elements of Gemini, we have to take into consideration how it functions. Gemini functions through air, communication, messaging. So there is this sense of understanding, of wanting to learn, of wanting to express, of wanting to share something. Gemini deals with words, right? Taurus rules the throat, but Gemini deals with the actual language, the words that come out, the words that are formed from the vibrations of Taurus. So it's important for you to watch what you say, right? Mercury is going to be stationing retrograde here. There's a lot of information going around. This is going to be a period where you need to be mindful of what you're consuming. You need to be mindful of media messages. This is a period where we need to pay attention to what we're being fed, whether it's through audio, whether it's through visual, whether it's through sound, whether it's through your physical senses. You just need to be very mindful of what you are consuming, of what you are learning, of what you are saying to yourself, how you are communicating with others. This is a period where Gemini is the connector of the zodiac. So this is a period where you want to socialize, you want to connect, you want to share thoughts, you want to have. I just started a free book club, like just for me and whoever wanted to just read books for the fun of it. Like there is this sense of wanting to come together, just because Saturn is in Aquarius. Jupiter will actually be wrapping up his transit through Aquarius for the retrograde part of it, primarily until later this year. Starting on May 13th, we'll see a preview with Jupiter and Pisces, which is going to be very rewarding. So this is important for us when we think about Mercury and Gemini to stay grounded, and especially in these first couple of weeks, is paying attention to who you're talking to, what you're talking about, and how you are expressing yourself. This is going to be a period where people are wanting to buy cars, sell cars. This is going to be people where people are wanting to take short road trips. But just be super mindful, guys, that with Mercury in Gemini, and Gemini not only ruling the hands, but Gemini also ruling the lungs, and breathing and those types of things like that. Just be super mindful of the desire to run out and connect. There's a lot of retrograde energy coming, and so there may be some regressions in terms of the pandemic, and in return in terms of just some policies. And when it comes to like the government and the individual states, there's going to be some discord happening, just because there is some we coming up to this Gemini eclipse, with Sagittarius. So it's going to be super important for you to pay attention to those types of issues. Where are the lines drawn? And so even like issues within your neighborhood and things like that, neighborhood disputes. And some of you are going to be having neighborhood gatherings and getting together with your neighbors, or reconnecting to people who have a sense of pay a homage to your evolvement, your growth, people you've known since you were children. This is a period where you're kind of being around family, and wanting to reconnect to your siblings, and wanting to work on those relationships when it comes to just overall communication, especially with Venus moving into Gemini on the 8th. So just pay attention to that, guys. Pay attention to, where you're wanting to learn, how you can apply what it is you're learning in a tangible sense. It needs to be tangible. It needs to be practical. We know you don't lose what you just learned in Mercury and Taurus about being consistent and about simplifying and allowing simplification to be your accelerator to do more, right? Instead of trying to push yourself and overburden yourself, simplify and maximize the quality of what it is that you're sharing and what it is that you're consuming. Break things down into bite-sized chunks. Don't lose that sense of understanding that Taurus gave you, because Gemini is all about multitasking. So you're going to need to build on the basis of what Mercury in Aries and what Mercury in Taurus just brought you. This is also a period too where not only just like neighbors and friends and things like that, but also like people who are into like writing and podcasting and YouTubing, or any type of, every job requires some sort of content creation, whether it's simple or on a corporate level. There is some sort of creation that goes into every process. So you again, simplifying your processes and keeping up with your paperwork. This is a period where some people may lose paperwork, or you may lose small objects. And so just be mindful again that we are moving into a Mercury retrograde shadow period. So it's super important for you to start to prepare yourself now. And know that this Mercury retrograde may affect siblings, it may affect friendships, it may affect in terms of how you communicate, your website, things like that. Making sure all of that stuff is updated. Making sure that your headshots are updated, making sure that your services are clarified. This is dealing with Gemini, and Mercury is going to be retrograde. Gemini is a domicile of Mercury. Mercury is Gemini's ruler. So there is a sense of authentication that comes with this transit. This sense of we learn faster, we comprehend faster. There is a sense of intuition that comes with Mercury and Gemini, especially when it comes to socializing, like when it comes to social skills, like where you really can pick up on other people's energy in the room very easily. So this is a really good time for you to connect with your peers, learning with people who are on the same level as you, learning through each other rather than maybe a leader or an expert. Really bringing together the sense of community on a peer level is what this is really going to highlight for a lot of people, is learning together. So just be mindful of that, guys. I ranted and raved about that. We'll talk about it for your specific signs in the monthly forecast video. So make sure you guys are checking back for that. Now, what is happening on Monday? May 3rd. Did I not put any of the I don't think I put any of the moon stuff on here for Monday. So we're just gonna skip that, y'all. What else is happening on Monday? May 3rd. Okay, so the sun in Taurus is also going to square Saturn in Aquarius on the 3rd, and then Mercury in Taurus is going to square Jupiter in Aquarius. So this is a heavy day. This is a day where, yeah, there is this sense of loss for some people, where you're starting to like realize where you are becoming overly attached to a group or to a belief or to a idea or to a dream, like a future. Like this is where people are starting to be like to break down the future, and the future is starting to become more apparent of what it's not. This is a reality check. This feels like a reality check, but it doesn't really have to be, because for me it feels like anytime I see a square, I see a turning point. But with Mercury and Taurus being at one of its final degrees in Jupiter, there is this sense of where you may be like forcing growth, or where you may be forcing connection, or where you may be forcing opportunity, or where you may be denying yourself opportunity, or where you may be denying yourself connection, or where you may be denying yourself freedom of expression and allowing yourself to see something from a different perspective, especially if it deals with faith or religion or anything Jupiter related. This is dealing with your truth. When we talk about Jupiter, we're talking about your truth, what you are trying to seek, what you are trying to attract, where you are trying to experience more opportunity and harmony and joy in your life. And Mercury is dealing with your mental. So you mentally, Monday may reach this point where you're feeling like, what am I doing wrong? Why do I keep hitting this brick wall? Or you start to see where there is momentum in your life, and you're realizing where you may have been holding yourself back, or where you may have been talking yourself out of feeling less than, or feeling like you don't fit in, or feeling like your values don't match, or feeling like somebody doesn't appreciate you. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to really learn how to appreciate yourself, how to nurture yourself, how to be the comfort and the security that you want and you need for yourself. Especially with the sun being in Taurus and Mercury being in Taurus, but Mercury's at the 28th degree, which is ruled by Cancer, and Sun and Saturn at the 13th degree, which is ruled by Aries. So there is a sense of protection of self from a group. But you don't need to protect yourself from a group if you know who you are. But there is this sense of not allowing yourself to be in spaces that do not serve your expectations or your standards. Stop putting yourself in groups in third party spaces and giving people access to you privately that you know off rip do not deserve to be in your space. Period. They don't deserve to be there. It's not where you are anymore. So this is Monday is a reality check for you to realize where you are and where you are going, and what you need to actually get there and what you do not need to get there. Really starting to ground into the sense to build, guys. The zodiac is nothing but a building block. We don't move from one side and lose what we lost in the previous sign. We are building. The sun is building. Mercury is building. Remember, we all just celebrated. Everybody was like, oh, Aries season, the astrological new year. Okay, it's a new year, which means the signs are evolving as well. So when we talk about the planets and the sun, think about it from the sun. The sun is a year older now. The sun is different in Taurus than it was last year. It's different than it was. So you're different. All right. So when it comes to your standards and your expectations, these squares this week are really showing you like, look, if you want it, work for this, and stop putting yourself in situations that you know from day zero ain't for you. Period. So many people don't have access to me no more, and it ain't even personal. You just don't need to be in my space. Period. So that's the same thing. Is it like, and for some of us, what I'm really feeling is that like it's you, it's us, it's us allowing other people. It's self sabotage. So like this week is all about the victim parties and the crying and all of that stuff. You can do all of that, but cry yourself to the bank, cry yourself to work, cry yourself to your job. Do whatever you need to do. But like we have this energy this week is so preparing us to really be comfortable with saying no, and also to be comfortable. I feel like for some people need to learn how to say yes. I feel like some people, this energy Mercury and Taurus is squaring you, challenging you to come and allow your values and your wants and your true desires to come up from the underground. To really acknowledge, no, you really want this. Stop denying yourself what it is that you truly want. But also making sure that you are doing and achieving and seeking something because it is actually true and essential to who you are, rather than a future, right? Aquarius, or a belief or an ideal that you think it represents, which is where that Aquarius energy comes in. So this is a very great time, to connect with people, and to bounce your ideas and your fears off of people, because Taurus has a very good way of internalizing things as a fixed sign, and so does Aquarius. So speaking, breaking it up through your voice is going to really help you understand what this square is trying to say to you. Um, so Next, May 4th. So, May 4th, there are no major planetary aspects, but we are going to see the moon continue in its last quarter moon phase. Also, I want to note that on May 3rd, the last quarter moon was also in Aquarius. So, the sun directly squared Aquarius. So, there was a lot of square energy on Monday, May 3rd. So, if Monday, May 3rd is a challenging day for you, do not take it personally. Tuesday, May 4th should be a lot easier for you. So just be mindful of that. Be mindful that Monday, May 3rd is a challenging day overall. But Tuesday, May 4th is a lot more positive in that sense. So no major planetary aspects. We will see the moon in Aquarius square off with Venus in Taurus at the 24th degree at 12:04 p.m. exactly. So in any individual with any fixed signs between 24 degrees, um, uh, um, fixed sign, so 24 to 26 degrees, but I say 24 because this is a moon, so it's an exact, it's moving fast. So for instance, like I have Pluto at the 23rd degree in Scorpio in my second house. So this moon in Aquarius square Venus in Taurus is going to be right on top of my Pluto. So I'm going to feel that on a subconscious level. It's going to be activating the Pluto triggers within my chart. So knowing these exact moon placements are super helpful because it's going to help you kind of understand how the aspects affect your chart, especially if you know your chart like me by heart, which most people do. So knowing the degrees of your placement, not just knowing that, hey, my moon is in Aquarius at the 28th degree, not just saying my moon is in Aquarius in my fifth house, but knowing that my moon is in Aquarius at the 28th degree. So anytime a planet at a fixed sign is at the 28th degree, I know it's aspecting my natal moon. Also, the moon in Aquarius is going to conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius. And this is going to happen right at around 6 p.m. So um, no, it happens at, let me change this. What's going on, y'all? Mercury retrograde. At least I know my times. It does not happen at 6 o'clock. I'm like, it should be around 8. When I think it's like right at 8:03, right before it goes. Anyways, so yeah, moon in Aquarius is going to conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful aspect. I love this aspect. It's happening on top of my natal moon. So not only am I having a little return, y'all, but guess what? I got Jupiter on my lunar ascendant, so I'm having a good lunar return this month. But Saturn is still square on my shit. So, anyways, but Moon in Aquarius conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius is a beautiful transit because the moon is representing our emotions. Of course, when we talk about Aquarius, we're thinking about intellectualism, we're thinking about groups, we're thinking about organizations, we're thinking about activism and social rights, and really wanting to achieve a higher purpose. So emotionally, this is a very beautiful transit to get us inspired, to remind us of the opportunities, to bring in a sense of blessing and encouragement from our friends. This is at the Cancer degree point. So this is a sense of emotional understanding, emotional connection. And so that's very hard for a lot of air signs in water degrees to comprehend emotional intelligence. So for you, this is a beautiful opportunity to have a sense of expansion from the inside out. This is what I feel like when we feel like we are blooming from the inside, where we're smiling from the inside, we're growing from the inside out, we're growing in our purpose, we're growing in our connectivity, we're growing in our relationship to the connective. So this bit energy is so beautiful and it just warms my heart. So really take some time, guys, around May 4th to really just soak in these vibes. Because it's beautiful energy to really allow yourself. And then the moon will station void, of course, until 10 p.m. And then we will see the moon inch towards its waning crescent. Waning crescent phase. In moving away from that last quarter moon phase and start to wane into a crescent phase in Pisces as we prepare for the Taurus new moon. So that is exciting. All right, let's see what's happening for us on May 5th. Now, May 5th is Cinco de Mayo. May 5th is there is also no major planetary aspects. The sun is going to be waning in Pisces today. So there is this natural sense of completion. It may be you may be a lot sleepier this morning when you wake up. It may be a little bit more challenging for you to wake up this morning just because the moon in Pisces is going to be moving. Mercury in Taurus, y'all. I just got all types of typos. It's actually Mercury in Gemini. So there is going to be this sense of like sleepiness this morning when you wake up on May 5th, maybe having a hard time to gather your thoughts, maybe feeling a little focused, maybe you're feeling a little scattered. So just make sure that when you wake up on Wednesday morning that you are taking time to center, you are taking time to ground, you are taking time to you are taking time to like really, put hold on guys, I have to turn that on. You're taking time to like really pay attention to what it is that you're wanting to do for the day. Wednesday is a day where you kind of need to, one, with Pisces doesn't like a schedule. So I'm not going to tell you that you need a schedule on Wednesday, but I will tell you that you need to have a sense of direction on Wednesday. You need to kind of wake up and know what it is that you want to accomplish for the day. Keep it very simple for Wednesday. Wednesdays are naturally hump days. Just depending on your chart, you will be affected by different planetary days. But for me, Mercury days are always really tiresome for me. It's always a day where like I just need a break. I always tend, my son is homeschooled, so like Wednesdays are always like, he's like, is today a chill day? I'm like, yeah, today's chill day is Wednesday. We're gonna chill, go read a book. You're done for the day. So this is a morning though, especially with the moon square Mercury and Gemini, where you kind of just want to take things slow. You kind of want to just ease into the day and not force so much this morning. So be mindful of that. Later in the day, the moon, things are going to start to speed up around lunchtime. You are going to start to, feel a little bit more ease. This is also a period too where people may start to feel lazy, especially if water is super abundant in your chart. Just because this is happening at the 7th degree of Libra, you may be going for a lunch date. You may be having lunch with a friend. You may be having lunch with your mother. You may talk to your mom during lunch. This is a period where you just kind of want to catch up with your friends or, spend some time one-on-one with yourself. You may be having like a silent lunch but this is definitely a period where you want to find some sort of balance where you kind of want to slow down, or you kind of want to be like, look, I'm finally starting to feel like I have some inspiration. I'm finally starting to feel like I actually have some momentum for the day, or I have the energy to kind of knock this thing out. Whatever it is that you kind of want to get over with or get through, you will find more. This is really going to help Mars in Cancer. Mars falls in Cancer. So this is a period where like, you need to um you need some support to get some things done, right? Because emotionally our behaviors are very dictated right now by our emotions. So with moon and Pisces really encouraging you to feel good and to play and to really tap into your sense of creativity and to really trust, this is a really good time for you to really relax and to just kind of take things slow and get something done or have lunch with a friend that you would like to. But pay attention to where Cancer rules in your chart. So for me, Cancer rules my MC and Cancer rules my 10th house. So this is going to be a period, and Pisces rules my 6th house. So I know that this is a great time for me to do some work. If let's say this is in your fourth and let's just say this is in your fourth house, right? Mars is in your Cancer, Mars is in your fourth house. So this is important. This would be an Aries person. So that means that the Pisces would be in your 12th house. So it's important for you to think about like where this is. So if this is an Aries rising and that's how your chart is set up, this is going to be a period where you're actually going to want to rest. This is a great time for you to take a nap. It's going to be a lot easier for you to take a nap. But for me, because it's in my 6th and my 10th house, it's going to be a really good time for me to do some work or to take a break from work or to receive some support or receive something from work. So this is a sense of ease when things are feeling a little bit easier for you. But it's important for you to know what house is this happening in your chart, and is this aspecting any other planet in your chart, because that is really going to determine how this energy is going to play out for you. Later on in the day, the moon in Pisces is also going to sextile Uranus and Taurus. So this is going to be a really good time to implement any of those changes. If you've been waiting for some sort of breakthrough, like, so for me, this is like in terms of my work, what I do on a daily basis, the services that I provide. This is in my 8th house of Uranus. So I've been doing a lot of work when it comes to pricing, in terms to, helping other people and how I connect with other people and how I deliver my messages. So this is a really good time for the work that I do around 12 o'clock to be supported. You know what I'm saying? So if I wanted to make a change, if I wanted to put something out there, this would be a very good time, because people are feeling more inclined to support some sort of change. They're more open to change. They're more open to imaginative experiences, especially in the line of work that I do, astrology. It's a really good time to introduce something tangible that someone can invest in for their spiritual self, but they can invest in something tangible. So having a tangible service, or offering someone a tangible gift, like a tangible foot massage, or a nice dinner, or something that is soothing to the soul, something tangible that you can put in your body, or something tangible that somebody else can take away. They feel like it's essential takeaway. This is going to be a really good time to implement that. So just be mindful of those things. And then the moon in Pisces is also going to square off with the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius tonight. So as much as you want to, you're going to be a little bit tired, just because the moon is on that South Node. And there may be a feeling, some people, I'm just going to tell you, there may be a feeling of like deceit or manipulation, or some sort of someone is trying to use your words against you, or someone is emotionally sabotaging something, just because this is at the 11th degree. So just be mindful, especially like if you work tonight and there may be some weird moods in the work environment, just because we're dealing with Pisces, Gemini, and Sagittarius. So people who are around others tonight, just know that there may be some confusion in terms of like what you're saying and what you're feeling. Your intuition may be picking up two different energies. So yeah, this is a period where you just need to be super mindful about what you take in, the information that you take in, because people are more open to change at this time. Like, that's apparent, but like at the same time, people are more open to change, but people are also more subjective to what it is that they consider truth. There is a sense of doubt. Um, there is a sense of self-doubt. There is a sense of, am I on the right path, or questioning the path, or questioning the truth of your path. But emotionally, there is a sense of you kind of like you're trusting in the unknown. Like, right, yes, there are some physical changes and things that you can support, but like, excuse me, something about this process still feels very uncertain and feels very unknown. And sometimes you may be feeling super unsupported by these ideas, or you may feel like these ideas are very maybe hard to digest. It's maybe something that somebody needs to like do more research on. And so for some of you, it's about providing, I think, providing people, especially like even in relationships, but this is really kind of applying to business and things like that. Is that if you sense someone is uncomfortable, and it's your job to sell to that person, or to help that person, because selling, you want to sell someone something that is helpful to them. You don't want to sell something to someone that it's unhelpful or unneeded, unless it's just for luxury or leisure. But this is a period too where like you may need to kind of convince someone of something, or you may need to take the time to share your story, or like, I don't want you to like, if there's a situation and you feel like it's hard to comprehend, or it's hard to understand, this is an opportunity for you to kind of break something down for someone in a way that they can kind of understand you, so that there can be change. But requires patience, and this requires willingness to And this requires willingness to change. So there is this sense of like an opportunity to have a honest conversation with someone tonight. But know that like there are things that you kind of you have to overcome something from the past. There seems like there may be some hold up from the past, and there may be some blocked. You're not really communicating or expressing the way that you really want to be expressing yourself. So if there are blocks, figure out a way to kind of cut through them, to cut through all the fog and to cut through all of the insecurity and all of that stuff, and just like tell it like it is. What do they need to know? What are the key things that they need to know, or what are the key things excuse me, do they want to know? Okay, guys, I'm about to pause it really quick because this is the last aspect today, and then we'll start back on the 6th. It's not gonna and then I need some tea, so hold on one second. All right, guys, I got my tea, so we're back for May 6th. So May 6th. May 6th, we are going to see some major planetary aspects. We will see the North Node in Gemini is going to sextile Chiron in Aries, which means that the South Node in Sagittarius is going to trine Chiron in Aries at the 11th degree. And then we're also going to see Venus in Taurus line with Pluto and Capricorn. They are both earth signs, so they are going to form what we would call a trine. So there is this shared sense of elemental understanding as earth signs when we see that trine energy with Venus in Taurus, trine Pluto in Capricorn. So overall, with North Node in Gemini, sextile Chiron in Aries, which means that the South Node is going to be in a trine with Chiron. There is a sense of healing. There is a sense of understanding. There is a sense of coming into one's purpose, coming into one's higher purpose, coming into leadership, coming into education. This is coming into this sense of sharing, this sense of sharing your story, telling your story, sharing your voice, putting your words out there. This is about putting momentum behind the healing that you want to do for yourself in your house of Aries. This is also maybe in terms of your belief about what it is that you are here to do, or about what you are capable of, or about the momentum that you are ready to bring to your endeavors, right? We're dealing with the 11th degree point, which is dealing with Aquarius. So this may have a lot to do with the group, or this sense of understanding about your individual, your future, what you want for your future. There is a sense of alignment in terms of the overall direction of our soul's current path. There is a sense of healing and coming together, and there is a sense of collaboration. So this could be coming from a group. It could be coming through a third party entity. There's really no telling, where unless we look at your chart, where this energy is actually coming from. But know that this is an opportunity for you to really heal. This is a very opportunistic day to receive transformation with someone else, through someone else, for yourself, especially on a financial level, especially when it comes to your relationships to money, your relationships to wealth, your relationships to your gifts, your relationships in terms of how you want to share and express your expectations, evolving. With this being the same day that Venus in Taurus is trining Pluto in Capricorn, there is a sense of internal transition. Whatever changes and whatever confidence and whatever sense of vocation is coming out of you right now, it's coming from this sense of accepting your needs and accepting the transformation and sometimes the sacrifice that is required to meet those needs, and really your wants, what you deserve, what you are deserving of, what you are ready to receive. This is an opportunity for you to not only think about that and not to talk about that, but to align your mental, to align the way that you think, the way that you speak with that healing. Excuse me, guys. This is where all of that stuff is coming. This is where that stuff is coming up. This is where that stuff is really asking you to move forward. This is a progressive, very progressive energy today, where we are really starting to see things come together, see things click, starting to see where those changes are starting to really align, and how the worth that you set for yourself, the expectations that you set with yourself, are now echoing around you. You're going to start to see it around you, through your friends, through your family, through your children. Those habits and those desires and those wants and expectations that you have set for yourself on an individual level are going to start to branch out, and it's going to start to expect the collective, affect the people in your environment, right? The people around you dealing with Gemini, the people that are in your environment. You are going to start to make contact and start to see healing through you, but it's going to affect them, but it's going to come through you. You really coming to the sense of alignment within yourself with Pluto, releasing whatever limitations, releasing whatever boundaries subconsciously. A lot of the shifts that are happening this week, guys, are happening on an internal level. This is internalization. We are literally blooming right now from the inside out. April showers are definitely bringing May flowers, but there is also this sense of um just being mindful of the timing of things. And that's what this energy is kind of showing you, is that the timing is now right. It doesn't necessarily mean that you weren't trying the same thing 6 months ago. It just means that the timing may be a little bit different right now, which makes it more accessible to you in this moment. But pay attention to, again, like, you may not, for a lot of people, this may be like you may not experience or see some of the changes happening in your own life, but the work that you've done has set the foundation maybe for your kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's really important for you to acknowledge where you are and where you have come from, and the work that you have done up to this point. There is a sense of healing and in alignment where you really finally get to see something is coming together. You get to see where this is coming together, what this lesson taught you, or what this setback brought you. Like, you're getting to experience it and move beyond it now. There is a sense of expansion in your thinking. And this is happening on a soul level as well. The moon is still in Pisces, guys. The moon is going to sextile the sun in Taurus at the 16th degree at around 4:45 a.m. So this is super important for you if you're waking up early. The morning of May 6th is a very productive time to just get something going. This is occurring at the 16th degree, which is a Cancer degree. So this may be happening something on the home front. This is dealing with your overall foundation. When we think about Cancer, people always think about when we think about Cancer, people always want to talk about family and home, but Cancer also represents what's happening in private, what's happening on a root level, what's happening in the background. So there's a lot of things that you may start to notice that are coming together in the background that are giving you this full picture that the North Node in Gemini, sextile Chiron, and Aries is really highlighting for you. And the North Node in Gemini, sextile Chiron, and Aries is going to reach its peak at 1:32 p.m. on the 6th, and Venus is actually going to trine Pluto in the morning. So this aspect is coming first. So this is going to be happening around a couple hours after the moon in Pisces is also going to sextile the sun in Taurus. So just be mindful of that. This is a very good morning to get something done, or to spend some time in your self-care routine. This is going to be a really good weekend for that. Now on the 6th, the moon in Pisces is also going to conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So when we think about Neptune, we're thinking about illusions. We're thinking about ethereal things that we cannot touch, right? Sleep is ruled by Neptune, because when we sleep, we are going into an inaccessible realm. Where do you go when you sleep, right? Celebrities are ruled by Neptune because they're something that you can see, but you can't touch them they're on the screen. You can't touch them, right? You may never see this person a day in your life. So Neptune is all the things that we can experience and that we can perceive, but we necessarily cannot in touch. We cannot embody. So when we think about that, we think about the moon is in Pisces, is a conjunct Neptune in Pisces at the 22nd degree. So this is an awareness of your dreams. This is a foggy period. This is a very foggy period. Anytime we're talking about a conjunction, it is dark. Think about the new moon. The new moon is the conjunction. You can't see anything. It's pitch black at night. But the closer you get to that full moon, to that opposition, like you would think I would have a night light in my room because the moon is so bright, it's shining through my window. So think about that when we try to talk about the aspects and how they correlate to everyday life. It's a conjunction. It is dark. Okay, the moon is dark right now with Neptune. They are aligned, they are in sync, they are sharing the energies of each other. So there is a strong sense of idealism. There's a strong sense of creativity, of spirituality. All those things that are associated with Neptune are going to become more prominent around this period. But because we are in a waning period, you are processing, right? So this is not like if it was a waxing moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces, because then it would be building, right? But you're decompressing. So you are decompressing all of the things that are now becoming more into your awareness. So for some people, this is an opportunity for you to kind of step back and to just think about the overall foundation of your life, especially when it comes to the 22nd degree of Capricorn and what is already happening today. This is you starting to really think about something. You're dreaming now. You were dreaming a new dream, literally. So there's something so powerful to this day, y'all. Something is switching. Something is switching on this day. I don't know what the hell it is, but this day is super powerful for you to really come into a realization of a new dream, starting to see something from a different perspective, stepping outside of the limiting perimeters of Capricorn, right? That 22nd degree, and expanding through this energy of Pisces, surrendering to that vision of the unknown. But just make sure that you like have your work done for the day, because you probably not going to want to do nothing for the rest of the night. It's going to be a beautiful day to create and to meditate and to really sit with yourself, to write things down, especially with Mercury in Gemini moving towards its retrograde station at the end of May. It's going to be super important for you. I just started random ass things, a random ass ideas journal. And every day, like anytime, I just keep it with me all the time. I can't leave it in my office right now. It's in the kitchen because I write in it while I cook. That's like, anyways. So I just started a random ass thing binder, a journal. So keep something or in your phone, but no, keep it on a piece of paper that you can physically write out random ass ideas that come to you over the next couple of weeks, because you're going to come back and implement those things later, and you're going to want to have a documentation of what it is that you had ideas about before Mercury station retrograde. So May 7th is a busy day in regards to the actual moon. There are no major planetary transits after yesterday's alignment with the North Node and Chiron and Venus and Pluto. So today we are going to be wrapping up the waning crescent phase with the moon in Pisces. So the moon in Pisces is actually going to sextile Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So all of those ideas, all of those inclinations, all of those things that may have been bubbling up to the surface for you when the moon was conjunct Neptune are starting to be integrated subconsciously. Like, so on a very subconscious level, now your subconscious is kind of like bringing you, you're going to start to see where, different ways of doing things, different methods, different techniques, different technologies, different ways to incorporate what it is that you just started to imagine are going to start to come to you. This is happening at like 1:30 in the morning. So it's not going to be something that you may actually remember, but know that subconsciously there is this, your body, your brain, your spirit, whatever you believe in is processing whatever you just ingested on the 6th. So give yourself space to really digest that. Some of you may be staying up late. You may like stay up late. You may take a nap on the 6th and then wake back up and do work until early in the morning on the 7th, because you're feeling super motivated by this sextile in Pluto. So if you feel that way, if like you find yourself sleepy during the day and then you get energy at night, that's why. Take advantage. If you don't go back to sleep, just stay up and work. Something good is going to come out of it, I promise you. The moon is going to station void at 3:37 a.m. and will remain in its void course of station until 7:53. So very sleepy morning, slow morning from our early risers who wake up early at the crack of dawn like me at 4. Slow morning, so just take it super easy. The moon in Pisces, well, actually the last sextile is going to be the Venus in Taurus at the 27th degree. So there is this definite sense of ease and luxury and creativity and really being able to manifest something nice for yourself. So if the 5th and the 6th were busy days, there is a sense of relief and satisfaction that comes on May 7th. So just give yourself some grace on Friday morning, because it's going to be a fun day, and it's going to be a day where you're kind of like, you're stepping, the moon will be moving into Aries at 7:53 a.m. So you're starting the morning off on fire, very impulsive. Just, the moon would be at the early degrees. So just make sure that you're not rushing. Make sure that you are not, you don't leave anything, that you don't forget something, that you don't forget a payment, or you don't forget to send off an email. You can easily forget something early Friday morning just because you almost like wake up in a rush. Some of you may even oversleep. So make sure that you charge your phone. When there's also a hack that I do too when it comes to like waking up on time, is I put my phone across the room. And I have two phones. So I set two different alarms with two phones. And I put one on one side of the room, one on the other side of the room. So I have to get up out the bed and walk one side of the room to the other to turn off the alarm. So by the time I do that, I'm like pissed. I'm pissed. So I'm up. You best believe I'm up. But it works a lot. And I can't remember what podcast I saw that from. And if I'm talking fast, guys, it's blame it on Mercury and Gemini. I always talk fast when Mercury's in Gemini. So I'm trying to be conscious of it. And look at me talking about Mercury and Gemini, and there it is. So Moon in Aries will sextile Mercury in Gemini at 9 p.m. And this is going to be occurring at the 6th degree. So this is a beautiful time too. I feel like a lot of people are going to be doing something with friends or talking to friends, or you may even like, I don't know, some of you may be even choosing to, we're moving into the dark moon period. So even though it's Aries and you're wanting to get active, you're also very aware of things that you have not done. So there is this wanting to like get ahead. And if you are someone who wants to get ahead and you're into stuff like that, and you like preparing and things like that, that's a really good time to research something revolving your health, because we're dealing with the 6th degree of Virgo. So if there's health issues or anything revolving like your skin or anything like that, your body or nutrition, really good time to solicit help, to do research, to write about it, to post something about it. If you're a food blogger like me or anything like that, you can easily share some information around health issues or anything like that, preventative medicine or holistic medicine, anything around those natures, that nature on Friday, and it will be well received. This also deals too with like organizing your calendar. I think some people may have had a late start with May this weekend, with it just being such a crazy weekend. And if you are feeling like you want to start May over, this is giving you like the energy to really sit with your schedule, sit with your routine, sit with the things that you need to do. So just be super mindful of that energy as well. But this is a really good time to have a conversation, to share with your friends, but definitely a really good time to work on your schedule and to do anything that is detail oriented. Like you're super ambitious, you have a lot of energy to put towards a task Friday night. But some of you may also just want to chat with friends or read, do something that supports your house of Aries, or your house of Gemini. Now, on the 8th, there are also no major planetary aspects. But we will see Venus, and I did not put this on the calendar, guys, but Venus will move into Gemini on May 8th. And Venus will remain there until 10:01 p.m. So this is going to happen all day. Venus will be at the last degree point at the 29th degree of Taurus. So this is a very excitable day when it comes to relationships. Things are feeling very high. There's a lot of high energy happening. This is the period where people are going to want to get together. I know it's Mother's Day weekend, it's celebration, but Leo rules the 29th degree point. So there is a sense of creativity and playfulness and wanting to break free of a routine, wanting to do something spontaneous. So people may be planning last minute gatherings, hosting people last minute, Just be mindful though that there may be some issues with family issues. There may be some things that you need to address there, where you may find that you're overextending yourself, especially if you're staying late, you may realize that you're overextending yourself. So just make sure that you take it easy if you're awake around 1:37 or 3:37 a.m., because the moon in Aries is going to be squaring off with Mars. So just be super mindful of that. This is not the time to be like, just be careful if you're out. It's at the 8th degree, so this could be like, home invasions, or someone feeling like their privacy is being invaded, or their personal brand or their identity is being slandered. So like, just, this is girl drama. So just be mindful of that type of energy, y'all. Avoid it if possible. Like, don't be up strolling and stuff like that on social media. Like, really just get your rest, because the moon in Aries is also going to sextile the North Node in Gemini, and trine the South Node in Sagittarius. So this is going to be a really fun day to um, gather with your friends, gather with your tribe, gather with your people. This is a period where you don't need to do the most to have a good time, right? We're moving away from the gigantic grand vision of Sagittarius, and are really trying to encourage you to do things on a much smaller scale, and really focus more on connectivity rather than expansiveness. Rather focus on connectivity more than you are focusing on expanding. That is what this energy is kind of telling you. And there is a sense of healing as well that comes around 5:50 a.m. when the moon in Aries conjuncts Chiron in Aries. So in your house of Aries, there is a sense of a new beginning again, or we're at that dark point again, where you can literally, you're emotionally, on an emotional level, you are starting to may experience new old wounds. Old wounds may be really coming up for you around this period. And this is an opportunity for you to gather and find support through others. There is going to be a sense of group a strong sense of group efforts around on Saturday. Lots of groups experiences and group healing, and making new traditions is what this energy is really telling me, is that there's going to be some sort of new tradition that is being set. And the moon is also going to come into its final aspect with Jupiter at 9:50 a.m. It's going to sextile Jupiter at the 29th degree. So this is a period where, again, Venus is at the 29th degree today. Moon in the Aries is sextile Jupiter at the 29th degree. So there is a strong sense of, is this today? It can't be today. It has to be tomorrow. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't think the moon sextiles Jupiter today. That does not sound right. What is going on with me in these not having these dates right? This Mercury retrograde. Okay, guys. So I fixed it. I actually had it all the way backwards. I don't know why I keep switching dates. So it was supposed to be on the 9th, not the 8th. But also the moon in Aries, I had the moon in Aries sextile Saturn in Aquarius on the 9th. I had them flip-flop. So Jupiter was on the 8th, Saturn was in the 9th. I did this when I was tired. Can't do that anymore. So anyways, guys, sorry about that. So moon is not in Aries, does not form its last sextile with Jupiter, its last aspect with Jupiter, until Sunday night. But the moon while I was picking up on traditions, that feeling of traditions, because Saturn is going to align with Aries. And so there is a sense of independence. And this is at the 13th degree point of Aries. So there is a sense of newness happening right now with Saturn. We are in the sense of new beginnings, forming new groups, forming new associations, forming new collaborations. So if you're seeking collaboration, if you're seeking partnership, especially in a corporate professional level, or wanting to be more taken seriously by the collective, wanting to establish yourself as a thought leader, or wanting to build your engagement, however you want to interact with Saturn in Aquarius, where it falls in your chart. So if this is in your first house, you're going to want to feel more sense of self-discipline, and also sense of understanding and acceptance from the group for who you are, for your identity. So there is going to be some support there in terms of you feeling comfortable in your skin. So being mindful of that, being mindful of the sense of setting new traditions for yourself that is coming from the sense of healing, right? Through friends, and feeling supported by those individuals, feeling supported in your house of Aries, but also coming through the sense of soul alignment, your soul tribe, your soul connections, that are going to be people that have been in your life for a long time, right? We're dealing with the 10th degree point of Capricorn, so longevity. These are relationships and experiences and ideas that you're going to develop over a long period of time, or who have been in your life for a long period of time. So they have an understanding of what you need to do to heal. So anything that really comes up for you around this day, if you have a conversation with someone and you feel like, this, they really understand you, or they're speaking to your past, you need to listen. Really take in the lessons that are being given to you right now. Take in the mentorship and the wisdom really all week that is being asked of you, paying attention to what the collective is saying, paying attention to, if you're a service provider, what they need, rather than what you want. We're really needing to listen and read in between the lines this week, and keeping our eyes and our ears open for those new opportunities that are coming, because we've already known that the last aspect that the moon will make is, it will actually, it's supposed to square off with Pluto. The moon is going to square off, with Pluto this afternoon on May 9th. So there is this feeling of moving through a subconscious blockage that comes on the 9th. But there is this last aspect between the moon in Aries, sextile Jupiter and Aquarius at this 29th degree, which gives you a feeling of hope, which gives you a feeling of, my phone keeps going off, y'all. It's distracting me. Which gives you a feeling of hope, which gives you a feeling of opportunity. So you letting go of what you cannot control. There are certain things that you do not have control over. And so there is this feeling of like a loss or a setback or having to settle, but you're not settling because you're looking at things from a different perspective. And rather than you focusing on what you don't have, because Pluto is at that 26-degree point of Capricorn, which is ruled by Taurus, the 26 degrees ruled by Taurus. So there is a sense of your needs not being met. But sometimes our needs, when it comes to Taurus, you have to remember that Taurus is about our senses and it's ruled by Venus. So it's really about what brings us comfort and what brings us pleasure and what brings us tangible security, what makes us body happy. It doesn't always have to be about your needs. It can be about what you want. And Taurus can also be associated with greed. So sometimes the things that you are so heavily attached to is a matter of habit rather than a matter of essentialism. It's not essential. And so that's what Sunday is reminding you of, is what is essential to your core. And what's essential is what you have right here, right now, in the present day. Letting go of your expectations of what life is supposed to be rather than making life what it could be, because you're focusing on what it is the energy that this moon in Aries squares Pluto is going to be bringing up for you. And the moon in Aries, again, is sextiling Jupiter in Aquarius, on Sunday evening before it stations and it moves into its void station and moves into Taurus. So there is this strong sense of you learning, how to really accept where you are and focusing on your gifts, focusing on your talents, thinking about that 29th degree point of Leo, focusing on what you can do, not focusing so much on what other people can do. Focus on what you can do and the people that can support you, who compliment you. That's what it really is. The people who compliment you and who are like-minded with you are going to find you because you were being true to yourself. So finding this sense of camaraderie and acceptance and expansion is going to come through you letting go of what you cannot control, of that subconscious sabotage of you wanting things to be different than what they are, rather than seeing the beauty in what is already in front of you. Doesn't mean that you can't want to change things. It just means that Sunday is not about being perfect. It's about being open to receive what is already there. Being open to receive the joy and the love that is already present is so key. So, especially when we talk about this Taurus new moon, y'all, is using what you got, using what you got so that you can get to where you want to go. But before you can get to where you want to go, you got to use what you got, and you got to use it like you ain't got nothing else to lose. You got to use it to the key. It don't matter if you got $5 in your pocket. That's all you got. You better use that $5 to the best of your ability. And that's what this energy is really asking us to step into. So I am so sorry, guys, for like 3 mishaps this week. I was kind of like tired when I did this. No excuses, but what I want to say is that I'm gonna leave the excuses out of it, and I will apologize and just say that I'm human, but I will make sure that before I record the video moving forward that I double check. So that will be my accountability for myself. Rather than sitting here telling y'all I was tired, I don't care if I was tired. Y'all just want to make sure y'all have the right date. So I did correct everything. So the insider members or anything like that, you guys who have access to the calendar, if you see a wrong date, please email me. I'm not sensitive about stuff like that. So you can correct me. I'm learning how to listen. So anyways, guys, I'll see you in a second for your weekly messages. Earth signs, earth signs, air signs. Hey, air signs. Hey, air signs, what is up? This is Morgan. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this video is for you. So this week is interesting. There's like 2 vibes to this week. And you don't really hit the second wave until Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday is like really intense for you. There's a lot of subconscious stuff that you need to work through. There's a lot of subconscious fears, subconscious insecurities, especially around like your possessions, your worth, your career, your home, your family, your romantic life, your relationship, like just really the parts of you that should give you the most security. Like Libras, for instance, are going to be feeling this a lot when it comes to your finances and your relationships intimately. Aquariuses are going to be feeling this deeply when it comes to their homes, and Geminis are going to be feeling this a lot when it comes to their careers and things like that. So there is this sense of um there is this sense, not careers, but sense of ending, like the sense of closure. So there is this sense of like letting go for the first half of the week that air signs are going to have to go through. You're going to have to continuously remind yourself that you can do this, that you can keep moving forward. There's like this seesaw motion that air signs are having to like work your way into being strong, right? Figuring out what strong looks like, because for you, you're physically like very, it's interesting to me because air signs are like the quickest ones not to ask for help. It's so weird because it's like you're the communicators, but you don't like to ask for help. So you are going to have to figure out a way to better articulate the emotions that you like to keep private, because what you're keeping private, like you're talking, you're working through things, but you're there's still something that's deep in your core that is really bothering you, that I don't think you have accepted yourself, that others can't accept that. And that's coming from the Venus, the Venus square, with the Saturn with the Aquarius placements. There's Venus opposed, not opposed, but Venus squared Saturn on Sunday, and on Sunday and Monday, Mercury squared Saturn, so Jupiter. So there is this strong sense of like you feeling like you're having to overextend yourself, or not having an outlet, or not being able to really catch your breath. You're always feeling like you're having to show up for others. And so air signs this week, especially the beginning of the week, you kind of need to set aside some time to deal with whatever those inner fears are. That inner voice that keeps nagging at you, that keeps eating at your self-confidence, is eating at your productivity, that's eating at your creativity. You need to kind of, you have to address whatever that is and silence that voice, so that when you move into Wednesday and Thursday's energy, you're more open to accept what Pisces, the moon in Pisces, is kind of asking you to do. Now, Mercury is also going to leave Taurus and enter Gemini, which is your sign, your element. So this is a period of air. So you are going to have a lot more opportunity and ease when it comes to expressing yourself. So air signs who have felt stifled, or who have felt like it's been hard for you to express yourself, or to share your thoughts, or to just be involved, socialize, you're going to be coming away from this period of like wanting to isolate, wanting to be spending more time to yourself. Those things are going to start to wane for you. You're going to start to gain more confidence again in your self expression, especially Geminis. You know, this is a period where mentally you just feel like you have taken hits from every level. This is going to be a period where you can start to focus more on your own goals, your own ideas, your own initiatives, coming away from a lot of that healing heaviness that came with Taurus. So just be mindful of that, air signs. Be mindful that this week really does encourage you to accept and to acknowledge those interferes, so that the second half of the week, you know, when we start to move into Mercury and Gemini, Venus and Gemini, moving into even the moon in Aries, more optimistic, where they sextile and support your placements rather than in conjunct or challenge them. There is this sense of openness and expression and connectivity, especially this weekend with so many beautiful aspects to Saturn in Aquarius, Jupiter in Aquarius, and Chiron in Aries, the North Node. There are some lot of positive aspects happening this weekend that are supportive to you. Right. But the first half of the week is where you're going to really have to have those conversations with yourself to kind of realizing like where, if you're starting to experience a lot of external agitation, a lot of external situations, then it's you. You're really needing to focus on what's going on within yourself, air sign, because you're projecting it whether you know it or not. It may be subconscious, it may be intentional. You know, you may be moody, so you want everybody else to be moody. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Really focus on when things happen, being present in the moment and being willing to listen, being willing to accept criticism, Mercury and Gemini, without taking it personal, with seeing things, taking advice and feedback to use in towards your advantage, to use towards your improvement, right? Rather than you focusing on what's not. So like for instance, instead of you having a fear in that moment, instead of you just suppressing that fear and saying, oh, it's nothing, no, it is something. That's why your emotions keep saying it, right? You keep having that same thought, that same fear, because you're not paying attention to it. Pay attention to those fears. Pay attention to those negative thoughts. Pay attention to those ugly, horrible things that you say to yourself. You need to listen. Pay attention to what you say to yourself, but what you say to others, or the energy that you give to others, the tone and cadence of your voice. Like I've realized that I've had a nasty attitude for the past week, and it's been through my voice. Like the way that I have the connotations of my words. I'm like, dang, Morgan, but I was irritated within myself, and I was projecting it through the way that I was speaking. And you know, Mercury was in my 8th house, so there I was realizing a lot of suppressed thoughts. But this is for air signs in general. Be mindful of the way that you speak and the way that you project yourself, because there are a lot more people paying attention to you right now, especially with Jupiter about to move into your work houses. You know, this is going to be a period in your finance houses. This is going to be a period where you are going to start to have opportunities on the things that you've created thus far. But in order for you to do that, you have to be mentally in the right space to accept those things. And right now, air signs are clearing the path. You may not all the way be there yet, and you need to be realistic about where you are. Stop lying to yourself. Stop telling yourself that you're okay when you're not okay. Telling yourself you're okay is not going to change it. Air signs need to heal. You need to hurt out loud. You need to let other people know that you are hurting. Tell somebody, because I'm telling you, at the end of the week, you will be in a completely different space if you just open up and allow yourself to be vulnerable about the topics that you are not comfortable talking about. You will talk about everything in the world except for what you're not comfortable talking about. That's the one thing you will not say. You will not go there. You will get an attitude. You will curse somebody out if they talk about those things. But those are the subjects that you're the most sensitive, your trigger points, the parts of you that when somebody touches them, you explode. That's what you need to keep poking. You need to keep poking at those wounds. You need to keep poking at them, because they don't need to stay wounds. They don't, you need to address them. Stop ignoring things. Address them. Poke at that wound. Let that wound heal, but it will not heal if you just keep putting a band-aid on it and don't let it get no air. So it needs to breathe. It needs to breathe. Let your wounds breathe, air signs. You are not perfect, and nobody cares that you are not perfect. Everybody will love you even more because you are finally allowing other people to see your cracks. They love your cracks. We love your cracks. You need to love your cracks, because that is what makes you so special. And that is where your wisdom and your emotional intelligence comes from, through your ability to not only observe your emotions, but you learning how to communicate them. So, anyways, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, what is up? this one is for you. So this week is a fun week for my fire signs. You are focusing a lot. You focus a lot the past couple of weeks on your finances, on your expenses, on, your purchases, your self-worth, your sense of security when it comes to what you have and what you offer to the collective, what you have to offer, your earning potential, your earning abilities, your ability to receive luxury, your ability to have comfort, your ability to have leisure in your life. You are realizing that you are so deserving of that. So congratulations to fire signs for finally realizing that, like, you don't have to kill yourself. So this week is all about implementation, where you are now starting to continue on and build on those energies. So now that you are aware of your worth, now that you are aware of your earning potential, now that you have found some sort of security in your earnings, your budget, your expenses, you are ready to connect. Now you are ready to take what you have to offer and give it out to the world, because we are moving into the energy of your social houses. Mercury will be moving into Gemini on May 3rd, and Venus will be moving into Gemini on May 8th. So there's going to be a switch from your focus on your second houses and your sixth houses and your 10th houses, and you're really focusing now on your ability, those third houses, those seventh houses, and those 11th houses. You're focusing now on your relationships for my whole sign people. So this is all about engagement, connections, how you can share your thoughts with the world. So this is going to be a period of sharing for a lot of fire signs, whereas air signs are really focusing now on what they want, their inner self, their creativity, focusing more now like on, well, what do I actually want to do, or what do I actually want to say? Fire signs are like, okay, I know it, I got it, I know I'm the shit, I got my stuff together, I got my prices together, I got this new job, I got my house. You're ready to, you got to secure whatever you need to secure, so that you can start to move into the sense of engagement and taking your what you've built and offering it to people, sharing it with people, engaging with people, connecting with people on a one-on-one level. Now, Aries, this is going to be your third house. Leo, this is going to be highlighting your sixth house, your 11th house, and Sagittarius, this is going to be highlighting your 7th house. So there's going to be a strong focus for each of you again on this sense of learning. Some of you are going to be teaching, some of you are going to be going through a training program, some of you are going to be going to school. Some of you are going to be like an accelerator program where you are, connecting and with your peers. Some of you are going to be in collaboration with an entity or with a group, or with the media company. You may be sharing, you may be aligning with some sort of media company, maybe putting out some sort of visuals. You may be maybe moving in with somebody. There is a sense of camaraderie, collaboration, coming together, bringing your like minds together to create something more expansive is going to be happening this week for Sagittarius, Leos, and Aries. So pay attention where you can connect. The outreach. If you're not outreaching, if you're not networking, if you're not sliding in nobody's DM, I know all about the power of manifestation and attraction. Cool, all of that. Get busy, get proactive. Put yourself out there. Send your resume out there. Make sure your headshot look good. Make sure your Instagram is aesthetically pleasing and is on target to what it is that you're actually trying to do. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is your opportunity to, like, really put yourself out there, like really put yourself out there. So if you have been like denying yourself or saying that I can't find love, or I can't find collaborations, or I don't have friends, or I don't have people who like the same things as me, well, that's a personal problem, because you need to get proactive and be out there this week. This is last quarter moon week. I mean, this is first quarter moon week. So this is no, this is last quarter moon week. This is last quarter moon week. This is you wrapping stuff up. So this is the wrap up from the Aries new moon. This is your wrap up. This is your opportunity to connect with those peers, to connect with those entities in your house of Aquarius. So look at where Aquarius rules your chart. Where can you find outreach? Where can you find support? Where can you find engagement? How can you put yourself on? You need to put yourself on. Stop asking and wait for people to do it. Put yourself on. Put yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? Solicit yourself, sell yourself. That's what fire signs need to really be focusing on this week is selling yourself, putting your being proactive. So earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, what is up, guys? This is a very slow week for you because you are wrapping up a lot of things and it can feel very annoying because Mercury is at the final degree of Taurus. Venus is also moving towards its final degrees in Taurus. So we're moving into this Gemini energy, which forms in conjuncts with your placements. Some of you have formed semi-squares or sesi-quad. So there is this sense of like, it doesn't really bother me, but it doesn't really do anything for me either. So there is this sense of like mundaneness that may be coming up for a lot of earth signs this week, where you're kind of like in this limbo waiting period. Like, when is it going to be my turn for the shoe to drop? When is it like, there is this feeling of like, opposite, not even really opposition, but just not even boredom, but just kind of like twiddling your fingers. Like, you see a lot of engagement around you, people around you may be moving forward, and like through your friend circles and through your peers. And so this is kind of a feeling where you're just like, you may be the support person. That's just the reality picture for earth signs this week, is that you may be the support person. You may be the person that other people lean on, or the other people come to for solace, or the other people come to for inspiration. Like, your role isn't the main role right now, but that's going to change next week. That's the thing about astrology. It changes every week, y'all. So you may feel like, dang, I'm in the background, or this isn't moving as fast as I would like it to, or why am I still having to do this, or why am I still doing this, and I'm ready to do that. Like, you're very aware, conscious of what you want to be doing. You just literally are not in the position to have it yet. It's a timing game, and your time is coming so much sooner than you think. So this week, it's really just about you finding pastimes. Like, this is a really beautiful energy for earth signs to start to realize like what it is that you actually enjoy doing. So when you have moments like this where like life is not as exciting, because life is not always going to just be dramatic, right? Sometimes life is still, and those are our most beautiful moments, is when we have that time for stillness. So for you, finding calming ways to pass the time is going to be your antidote this week. Reading, writing, watching documentaries, things that you find joyful, sleeping, resting, like taking this opportunity to really just connect and be still and be okay with this stillness. And I think that's the challenge. I think that's the challenge for a lot of people, is being okay with the stillness and staying proactive when things are still. That's going to be the challenge for earth signs this week. And also not being jealous when other people around you are moving and you're not. That's when you dig deep and you become that ally, so that when you win and it is your time and it's time for you to step up and then you need support, you have it because you were able to provide it to others. So you're going to know what it feels like now to be on the other side, and be the one who's like, playing the support person. You're the support person this week, and that's a big role, because your support for this person or this project or this idea is what is going to keep it going, so that when it's your turn, you have somebody, or you have an entity that's still behind you. So as much as it may be hard for you to be like, dang, it's not about me right now, it is about you. It may not feel like it, but whatever you're supporting, whatever you're feeding, whatever you're nurturing right now is your future. Okay, it is your future. So don't half ass it this week. Don't half ass whatever because you don't feel like it, or because it's not your time. Your time will come because of the work that you do this week. So just chill, find stillness, and find enjoyment in the mundane. Find enjoyment of knowing that what you're working towards, because there is this sense of alignment when it comes to the Venus trine with Pluto, right? And the Mercury, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's beautiful aspects. I can't remember what the second aspect was this week that's beautiful, but there are beautiful aspects to support you. So don't allow the outside world to get inside your mind and cloud you and make you feel like, no, stay so grounded in where you are, earth sign. You are right on time, okay? um Now, water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, what is up, guys? This is a powerful week for you, just because the last quarter moon is going to be highlighting your houses of ending and closure and healing. So we're moving back into this process of, you just had a very beautiful big week last week, the Scorpio full moon, and now you are at this waning period. Especially Scorpios, where like you're processing. You're processing, you're decompressing, and this is the week where you just need to kind of wait and see. The beginning of the week is super slow. You can find a lot of inspiration and joyfulness through um resting and learning and kind of studying behind the scenes, and kind of just staying low key for the first part of the week. And then the second half of the week, when the moon moves into Pisces, is when you really start to come into your skin. So Thursday, Friday, even Wednesday evening, but really Thursday, Friday is a beautiful time for you to just get active, um especially with the moon in Aries this weekend, highlighting your money houses and things like that. This is a really good time for you to push forward on a project, to receive rapport for your project. Something that you may have posted a couple weeks ago or shared a couple weeks ago is now going to be gaining some traction and attention this weekend. So for a lot of water signs, like air signs, the beginning of the week is a little rocky, but by the end of the week, you're really coming into the sense of opportunity and sense of creativity, and feeling more inspired, and have this opportunity to really work on yourself and to work on your individual goals, and to put some more energy behind what it is that you want to do. Some of your passion projects, you're going to have a lot more energy to focus on your passion projects, to create, to play. You're going to see a lot more free time over the next couple of days this weekend than you would naturally do any other time. So this is a beautiful end of the week to really think about, spend the beginning of the week thinking about what it is that you really want to do, what it is that you want to study, what it is that you want to discover, what it is that you want to create, where you and your lover may want to go, you and your friends, like thinking about those types of things. But guys, there is going to be, Mercury's going to be stationary retrograde in Gemini, and we're about to move into retrograde season. So just be mindful of that. Especially with this pandemic and things like that, we ain't out the water yet. So stay inside if possible. And if you do go outside, y'all, please stay safe. Water signs, just because at the beginning of the week, your immune system is a little bit lower than what it typically would be. So you just need to make sure that you are getting a lot of rest. You're drinking a lot of water. You're eating a lot of fresh leafy greens and low glycemic fruits. So not a lot of sweet fruits, but low glycemic fruits like apples and green grapes and things like that. Oranges, even certain oranges are really good for low glycemic sugars. So you just need to be mindful of what you're eating and monitoring your body. Some of you maybe find that certain foods are affecting your moods this week, or certain sounds or certain energies are affecting your mood. You may even want to take a break from social media for the first half of the week, and maybe come back this weekend. Some of you are actually starting to rethink your creation schedule, your content schedule, how you consume content, how you share your voice, how you process information is going to be under consideration for a lot of you with Mercury now in Gemini. So again, taking this week to really just kind of decompress, tap in, figure out where you're hungry, you're passionate, where you're wanting to create, what you're interested in, what you want to learn more about, and then utilizing the rest of the week to really dive into those entities and those ideas and those connections. So anyways, guys, that is all I have for you this week for the weekly forecast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you very, 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 very soon for your monthly forecast video. So peace and love. Bye.